Hello and welcome to the LampPod. It's me, Sam, and you,
Neil. Hello.
And this is the 50th podcast.
The big 5-0. 5-0.
Midlife crisis.
Yeah, we're middle-aged. God.
We finally did it. We got there. It only took 4 years or whatever.
Yeah.
However many years we took off. 3 years.
We were going to record this podcast in our newly bought convertible sports car. but the
Maybe
sound
that should be the background.
The sound
this
quality was
episode.
awful. We can't do that. It's the final episode of WandaVision. We can't. The actual background. Oh right, no, yeah,
The
we can do that.
background. With the green
I thought
screen.
you meant thumbnail.
Be a weird convertible with swivel chairs.
like the National Lampoon Vacation movie, spinning around. Anyway, yes.
Anyway,
the final episode of WandaVision, and it's Sam's birthday. Everybody sing
And
happy
birthday.
birthday to Sam.
Thank you.
Well done.
Thank you, that one person that just said it.
Thank you, Sam Bram, for saying that.
Thank you, Max. Thank you, potentially Jack. I can't remember if Jack watches these.
Probably not.
It's just Sam, Bram, and Max. Hi, guys.
We should just do a video call with them instead.
Yeah, that would make
Save
sense. Yeah, it's a
time.
weird relationship where this is the only way we can communicate with them.
Yeah, we were saying just before we started recording that we don't think about WandaVision during the week much. Or at least I don't think about the next episode much. I will quite heavily be like, oh yeah, last week I really enjoyed it, and get into it like that.
Yeah, totally.
But yeah, overall I've not been anticipating what's gonna happen next and stuff like that. I kind of don't really remember how the last episode ended. Oddly,
do you want to recap?
Sure, why not?
So,
they did the clip shows.
What did happen? All I remembered was pale vision, but I was going to say that last.
Yes.
And then I realised I couldn't.
Yeah, that was the after credit. But how did the episode end prior to that?
So Agatha she's got tethers around Wanda's children, and
she calls it chaos magic, and then she's a Scarlet
reveals
Bitch.
That she's the Scarlet Witch. Yeah,
And
they didn't say Scarlet Bitch.
Not yet.
What the fuck?
Not yet.
I handed them that amazing line on a silver platter, and they just haven't used it.
Only 9 months after post-production finished had you.
They should have just reshot in the week.
Yeah, that was the I am Iron Man from Endgame. You were you just tweeted at them, and they were like, we gotta get it out before next week.
Ah, shit, Scarlet Bitch, that's genius. Put it in. Fuck. They actually just do some Joss Whedon Justice League CGI lip stuff to make them say it. Scarlet Bitch.
Or just in Social Network, where Fincher replaced the word fucking with fricking, and
oh yeah,
he just straight up ADR'd it and didn't even worry about it. It's really, really obvious.
Yeah, I suppose witch and bitch, they're kind of different mouth movements.
Yeah,
you got
do the buh. Anyway,
anyway,
the anatomy of the mouth.
So that's literally where we left off. Is the kids are in danger. We don't know where Vision is because he left in 2 episodes ago. He flew off to go and find his wife, and all those flashbacks happened in that time, I guess.
But we do know where Pale Vision is.
He's with Hayward.
He is
in a tent. So
do we think we're gonna get? So this could go 2 ways. It could either be a big punch 'em up between like Superman 3, I think, where you've got you've got Christopher Reeves fighting Christopher Reeves, or do you think it's gonna be Edgar Wright style Nega Scott in Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, where
they sort of shake hands? Or
they just oh no, he's a really cool guy. We're gonna get dinner next week.
I don't know. It's not daft enough for something like that to happen. So it's going to be a fight.
Yeah, it's got to be a fight.
Because I suppose everyone here, the sort of, I suppose I don't want to say the regular audience, but I'm going to double down. The regular audience is here for a Marvel show, presumably, where they're expecting some kind of superhero action. Now, this would be the episode to do that. Otherwise, there isn't going to be any.
Yeah, which
so
I'm not objecting to having none of that, really. I don't think.
I would be chill with either way, like, honestly.
But yeah,
we've made it this far without the action. I'm not, like, crying out.
I think the likelihood is it's going to be, like, Vision v Vision, or Scarlet Witch v Vision, and other Vision v Agatha, or some sort of variant on.
Yeah, something's
big
going
battle.
on there.
I thought I had, which I don't think I said in the last podcast. Do you think Pale Vision, is going to be voiced by Paul Bettany, or do you think it could be James Spader?
Yeah, no, I've seen some people sort of talk about this. Honestly,
I hope it's Bettany.
I think it's going to be Bettany.
Mm-hmm.
It would be odd, and like, if you didn't get it, it'd be a weird thing to do, like just have his James Spader's voice, like just there, and like, because then they'd have to have an awkward line like, "Oh, he sounds like Ultron," and then people are like, "Oh yeah, he does, I suppose."
Well, he could just be like new Ultron, like.
Yeah, because I suppose it would also be you've removed.
It would complete the trifecta of Paul Bettany being in the MCU without a voice, Paul Bettany being in the MCU with body and voice, and Paul Bettany being in the MCU with only voice, no body.
With only voice, yeah.
You've got. I kind of want it now.
Only body and no voice. Yeah. It's kind of funny because years ago, I don't know if you might remember this. I think we may have talked about it in like podcasts of old. Mm-hmm. There was a theory that Vin Diesel would be in the MCU twice. Once as voice of Groot, and then the second he was going to be the silent protagonist of Black Bolt in the Inhumans.
In the Inhumans, yes. I do remember that.
Like, which is hilarious. Obviously, we know now that didn't happen.
Back when Inhumans was going to be a movie, I think.
Yeah, Inhumans was like the final movie, I think, before Avengers Endgame, or like the one after it, maybe. What the hell that was even going to be about, I don't know. Well, we turned into a TV show.
We can know, and I refuse to watch it.
Yeah, just stick to the Mr. Sunday movies.
Yeah, that's the only.
They sat through it.
The only thing I've seen from it since it came out, with its big fucking. It just looks IMAX bizarre. Release. Yeah, garbage looking show anyway.
Definitely a tax write-off for someone. That's why they did it, probably.
Do we? So the only thing that I sort of know now about this episode, which I know to be confirmed, and it's kind of given at this point, is that there is an after credit. Do we?
Okay.
Did you not know that? Did you not presume that?
Well, no. I'm assuming there'll be an after credit, but I
don't know what it is. I've got no concept as to what it will be, but like any wild speculation on that?
Well, I mean, we've been saying it all this time, and I'd sort of lost hope. No, not really lost hope, because we're on the last episode now. That Doctor Strange, given that she's going to be in his movie, he should show
Multiverse of Madness.
Right.
Yeah, I felt like that would work as an after credit-y thing. I don't
want to take away from the actual episode.
Yeah, and I'm surprised that hasn't been our standpoint on it from the get-go. But I guess we just thought there were no after credits. But that's a real naive way to look at the MCU after all this time. Like what would we be playing at? I think have him show up at the end, whatever the end is.
I mean, alternatively, that could happen in the episode, and in the post-credit could be like something more WandaVision based, and it could be they're still experimenting with Vision or something. I don't really know.
We still don't know who the advert people are, do we?
That's true.
Unless I'm wrong about that, but I don't think we do. So like,
because I thought it was going to be the parents, but it wasn't.
No,
it was two randos.
So it's like maybe it'll be something like that.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah, figure out what they're about. Another wild theory would be a crazy sort of post-credit would be like real alternate reality Pietro arriving. Just like, whoa, mic drop. Here's the real one. We've teased you this whole time with this fake Pietro. And now, like, boom, X-Men are here, final shot. That could be quite cool.
Yeah, there's a lot of ways that this whole episode can go. I've no idea.
Or something to set up Falcon and Winter Soldier, actually, because that does come immediately after.
Yeah, they could do like a end of Venom, where they just put in the clip of Spider-Verse and just like move on to the next thing. That worked, to be fair. I did not care about Spider-Verse before I saw it, and that kind of was like, I might see this movie. How wrong I was. That movie's insane.
So good.
Yeah, I think let's crack on.
Yeah, I can't imagine there'll be commercials or anything.
Yeah,
there's nothing to predict about that anymore.
I don't think there will
unless,
be.
of course, like you're saying, those characters show up.
Yeah, unless it's an after credit. But I think the after credit will like be an advert. So wild speculation. If the after credit is with the advert people, it'll be them doing an advert to do with something, and then it will cut, and they'll like walk out of character, and then we'll get like a reveal of something else, kind of along the lines of the Nick Fury Far From Home one, where like you think it's one thing and then it continues on and reveals something bigger.
Yeah. Okay, that's interesting. We've got some theories there. So
now let's see if we're right.
Let's see if we're right. Final transition.
It should have been a party popper for your birthday and Big 50. Could have done one. That would be great.
Let's do like I've done clicks. I've done all that sort of stuff.
Let's
just do like a.
We want Doctor Strange, so do like a strange motion.
So I could sort of. It's that, and then I'll do a circle.
Okay.
There's is that it? Did you point?
I didn't point.
Did you point?
No.
Did you want to point?
Yeah. Do it again.
Okay. Here we go. Transition. I got to try and like get it in the green screen. Okay. Here we go. Transition.
What a waste of time
Doctor
that
Strange
transition was.
Yeah. He wasn't in it.
He wasn't.
What a glum way to start this edit.
Yeah.
Wow.
Holy
what a show.
Jesus. The show just kept getting better. It like the great episode. Like I don't even know how to hair in my mouth. I don't even know how to start this. Like I just said to Sam just that between us pressing end on the episode and then starting this, I was like I have no energy from this. I'm like so like satisfied and like drained and like I got everything I wanted, I think, except from like maybe the after credit could have been a bit more cray.
Yeah, where was Cumberbatch? Come on, man.
Yeah, where was like the guys who Jimmy called? Like I know they show up, but like
his buddy.
Nothing really came of that. Wait, let's not do this now. Let's do this later.
What a show!
Jesus, what a show it was. It was a good time for everybody involved.
Oh man,
fuck off.
I'm having the same trouble, man. Lockdown life.
Like, yeah. Okay, so I want to try and hype myself up. The fucking Vision v Vision, like fighting, is all I've ever wanted. Like
we finally got to see Vision go ham.
Like it was like that to me is what Man of Steel like should have been. Like he's having the crap beaten out of him, but like he's still trying. Like he's still trying to like outsmart the enemy and not make a huge fucking mess.
Well, yeah, they fly up into the air. They're having a big battle in the air. Cause trying to avoid that sort of collateral damage. And also, it's not like the fight isn't resolved with just punchy, punchy, punch. It's hang on a minute, I'm the Vision. Let's have a conversation.
Yeah,
let's get philosophical for a second.
It's why are you trying to kill me? Oh, I've been programmed to kill the Vision. Well, I'm not him. You are.
I'm not the Vision.
Like, that's so
do this
good.
whole thing about the boat, the ship.
Yeah, the whole Theseus
It's the
Theseus ship. Like,
it's the broom handle from Only Fools and Horses.
Yeah.
It's like the head and the handle have changed so many times. Is it the same
is it
broom?
still? Yeah. They are both.
I wish they went with that analogy. Have you seen Only Fools and Horses?
Paul Bettany just like
I do remember, yes.
fall in with some English comedy. I know you have because I have.
I've actually one of the eras we did. I lived it. We did a brief weekend of British comedies. Yes.
The fucking house turned into a high-rise set of flats, and some shenanigans were had. Some good tomfoolery.
We were trying to sell some knockoff toothpaste. We called it Vision toothpaste.
We did it.
What? You could say the pale Vision looked like toothpaste. So
Yeah, he did. He looked a little bit like a tube of toothpaste.
Aquafresh Vision.
Just that little hint of like someone needs to they need to just start at the legs, roll him up, and then you'll get your full vision back.
That Mind Stone juice out of there. Yeah. So we find out sort of. I'm just putting this together now. So he asks at the end, "What am I?" And she's like, "You are the part of the Mind Stone that was in me and stuff." Mm-hmm. So we can then backtrack to earlier in the episode where he sort of touches the forehead of the pale Vision.
Mm-hmm.
It gives him some yellow juice, and it all sort of goes. And he gets his memories back. His eyes turn back to normal. And he leaves.
Yeah.
Now, is that if we're sort of saying Scarlet Witch has it in her? It goes into this vision, and then that vision gives it to the physical Vision. Is that how we're going to sort of get that?
My interpretation of it was that he didn't give him anything. He unlocked him.
Okay, just give him all his memories.
Like it could go either way, because like the yellow is like very like very specific. Like we all know what that color kind of means, especially because I thought it was going to turn yellow. Like it did.
Yeah, I was expecting that.
Like a fleeting moment.
Yeah.
But yeah, my interpretation of it was like I'm unlocking the like parental guidance that Haywood has over you to allow you to be the Vision you want to be.
Yeah, you're now free will again. You're back to
But that does mean that like we've got Paul Bettany just walking around in the MCU still.
I was extremely worried going into the show. I think that this would be the final hurrah for Paul Bettany. I'm so glad that he gets to stick around.
I've been very two minds about it, because like I kind of wanted, and I still think he is, but like I wanted Vision to remain dead after the events of Endgame and Infinity War, because like it's almost like it's the
Loki keeps coming back sort of thing.
Yeah, the nobody ever dies thing. Like it's always fake outs, but I think I'm if they're gonna bring him back, this is the best way personally, because he's not really back.
Yeah.
Like he isn't the Vision that we know. Like I'd say that the Vision that Wanda created is more Vision than Pale Vision will be.
Yeah. But then if he has the memories, is it going to be one of those things where it's like I have these memories and like, but that's not me sort of thing, you know? Like I'm living with another man's memories or something. Maybe they'll go down that route, and it'll be it. I'm happy with it being this way, because if it was like ultimately Wanda, like the kids became real people and like Vision stayed around, that would open very weird doors for the future of the MCU. So it's cool that, in like the worst way possible, it's cool that, you know, they had to disappear again. But then this is a nice way around it of like, there's now a new opportunity for storytelling, about like, you know, Vision, he's got this weird experience and like he sort of remembers the past and like he knows that in a previous life he loved Wanda, but maybe now he doesn't, and that's going to be another tragedy for Wanda to deal with. It's like, oh man, I gotta learn. You gotta learn to love me, please.
I really liked the end sort of monologue that Wanda says, going back to like her saying that you're the piece of the Mind Stone, like that whole like 5 lines of dialogue where it was just like, but most importantly, you're my love, and he was like, so long, Wanda. So we've said goodbye before, we'll say hello again. Like all that stuff. I was just like, oh.
Yeah,
You're killing me. Their chemistry is so good.
Yeah.
And
which is why it'd be such a waste to sort of lose him so soon.
I never really clocked how good their chemistry was until like obviously this show. But then I watched an interview between I think Elizabeth Olsen was promoting for Civil War maybe. And like she's just doing an interview, and Paul Bettany just like pops his head and he's like, hello, and like he kisses her on the cheek, and she's like, yeah, this is my last one of the day. And he's like, oh, how's it going? She's like, yeah, it's good. He's like, if it's bad, I can stay here and distract you if you want. And she's like, no, it's fine. And I was just like, oh, there's such like a rapport there between the two of them, and I'm all about it. I want more of it. I want.
Yeah, and I mean, like,
I want more.
Just on like an emotional level as well. Like one of the best scenes is like in Infinity War is when Wanda, like Vision tells Wanda, you have to do this to save.
Oh yeah,
you have to.
Also, apparently that was like improvised.
Yeah, I heard this, which it kind of annoyed me. I'm like, why did you put so much pressure on these two people to like this pivotal moment? Just write it.
Well, I think
what the fuck?
I think it was a notion of like they wrote something, but like it just like maybe wasn't working. I don't think the scene was like, well, we'll figure out on the day. I think they had some idea, but they were just like, just say what you feel like you should say, as opposed to what we've written.
Yeah, just bring it from like within. Just like really act it as if, you know, it's someone that you love in front of you. But I think that scene and that movie will benefit even more now that we've got this show, and like now that these characters are actually characters and not just like extras in previous movies where it's like, oh, by the way, they're falling in love, and then like we cut back to Captain America punching Iron Man in the face. Like it's nice that we now have something solely about them, so you can go back and be like, oh, this is nice.
Well, as like we were saying,
nice to see this.
We said last week that like even their heart to heart in Edinburgh gets interrupted immediately by Vision being stabbed through the heart.
Back to the plot, back to the Infinity Stone.
And that's like both the positive and slight negative to Infinity War is it moves. It's paced amazingly, but it just moves so quickly. Yeah.
Because I suppose at the end of the day, it is supposed to be like, it's Thanos' story, you know, and it's he's the one with the most sort of like stuff going on and stuff. So I get that, and like why they had to do it. There's so many people in that movie,
but it makes me so thankful that we've got this show as opposed to like having them still be side characters. Like I would really gladly watch a Scarlet Witch movie now. Now they've like just blown the character up and just been like.
This is kind of the brilliance of it, and like if like so she is appearing in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, is like now if people weren't that interested in Doctor Strange, it's like, oh, now you can watch it because you really like this TV show with this other character in it. Like there's clever, it's cross
and because I know a lot of people aren't like Doctor Strange to me even is like, yeah, I'll watch it because it's like visually like stimulating, like it's so good to look at, but like story wise, I'm like, it's alright, it's fine.
Yeah, just want to see some more cool magic action.
Yeah, straight up.
Okay, so it is my birthday. We said this earlier. My food has arrived. My birthday Chinese. So we will come back. I'm gonna do another cut.
That's fine.
We'll be back in 2 seconds. What a delicious Chinese that was.
I don't know if I pointed on what happened. Yes, moving swiftly on.
What an achievement it is that they released a fully animated Post Malone in the Pokemon world doing a concert. What an achievement. Wow.
What's happening?
Anyway,
wait, is it still your birthday, or did I get so blackout drunk that the past week has just... Yes, WandaVision.
That is real, though. Look it up.
I won't. I refuse.
Yeah, don't.
Okay,
Anyway.
so speaking of achievements, let's stick to what we're actually talking about. What an achievement for the visual effects artist working on this show. Because holy mother of God, it looked great.
It's got to be like Industrial Light and Magic and Weta, I assume.
Yeah, is it still those? Because I think Weta worked on most of the MCU stuff. I think ILM did Thanos, or was that also?
Yeah, I think ILM do most of it. I something in my mind makes me want to say that ILM is like very closely associated with Disney.
Yeah,
like
they are.
The origin of Pixar, perhaps, maybe something like that. I don't know. They may have come out of, or maybe no, it was to do with Star Wars. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I'm
sure they're attached. In
ILM were a very small business that George Lucas basically went, do a movie, and they were like,
yeah,
cool.
Anyway, and they were like, shit. That's all you had to say.
The VFX,
do it good now.
The VFX in this show, especially in the sequence, the flying sequences are flawless. Like genuinely, they've nailed flying, especially with like all the capes and like Wanda's wearing a hoodie for most of this and like kind of jogging bottoms which are baggy, and then Agatha's got all of these like silks and trails coming off of her. All of it moved like realistically, like fabric whatever it is, fabric thing when in editing, like it's perfect. They've
cloth simulation.
Cloth simulation, yes, that's the one I wanted to say.
I think we've talked before about like wire work and like how we're obsessed with like how good it looks in MCU versus like X-Men. You can always tell there's wire work. And I think we talked about it when Vision and Wanda had their argument in that previous episode.
Either side of the sofa.
Yeah, I sort of said it looked a bit janky, kind of like it was good, but like you could sort of see where they were kind of balancing. There was like a pivot point, definitely, and all that sort of stuff. There's a bit where Wanda is like on foot, and then she starts running, and then takes off, and it's so seamless. It's like I would assume she's on wires, she's running, and then she's sort of being taken by the wires, and then at some point it becomes a CG double.
Yeah,
but it's perfect.
As the camera pans up, there's a few so amazing, like and but there's like a few moments where it's like janky, but it's always in like there was one that it really got on my nerves because I was like, just hire a stunt person, because it was literally I think it was just before she threw the car through the window at Agatha. By the way, amazing Wizard of Oz joke. Loved it. That killed.
We loved it.
But yeah, I think Agatha like somehow throws Wanda over the street, and there's like an explosion, and she's like thrown back, and like she hits the ground, and it was just so obviously like it was just janky. Like the movement wasn't realistic. It didn't look fake, but just like the bounce wasn't quite right, and I was like, just throw a stunt person over. Like, what you doing? Come on, surely that's cheaper.
Throw a stunter on the ground,
right? Like, I don't know.
It was like a deceptively difficult stunt or something.
Yeah, or maybe it was a stunt person, and it was the editing out of like a mat or something that made it look off. Something like that. It was just like the animation / movement just felt a bit bit lackluster compared to the amazing shit they've been doing for the rest of the episode. Yeah.
All in all, I think way more positives than negatives when it comes to that stuff.
100%.
It's so good to see. Like I hate to make the comparison, but like it's the only other thing I can think of. It's like the CW sort of Superman and Supergirl stuff. Obviously that they do flight there, and I don't think it's just not it's just nowhere close to how they did this.
It's closer to like the Christopher Reeves back in the early Superman films, where it's just like
definitely sort of chuck it in there. And then,
But I mean, they have the same
like
issue.
CG them from far away.
They have the same issue on Flash, where it's like he's literally just like running.
Yeah,
like,
which I guess makes sense. We had a Quicksilver in this, but there's never a moment of like POV whilst he's running. I guess
slow running, as like keeping up with him, as everything else moves slow, fast instead of him.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it's a show that started off deceptively small in scope, and then by the end, it's literally these two witches. And there's this like massive dome, and they're like having this massive battle with magic, which is just awesome. And like you think that she keeps missing, and then it turns out that she's put the runes on the wall.
Well, I think she does to begin with, and then I think she.
Oh right.
I think there's a moment of her like, because like she's missing a lot, but then like any hit she has, Agatha absorbs. But I think she's.
Yeah.
I think. She lets that happen on purpose so that she can do the runes,
it's the deception of it,
and then bring the power all back and like basically like X-Men rogue her and take all of her power and add it to hers. She's like a succubus of other witches.
Cool payoff, I guess. They kind of set that up.
Yeah,
literally one episode ago.
I like the fact that Agatha's still alive. And like,
oh yeah, totally.
The mercy kill. Sorry, yeah. The payoff of the runes thing, and the fact that she says like, "You're more powerful than I am, but less educated," or whatever that line is. It's like, it's all very well done and blindingly obvious, but like, don't really think about it. Like,
yeah, and it's. I don't want to say it's deceptive, but like, I mean, we were talking about a lot of these like. I kept saying like ass pull in previous podcast episodes, and like so that's a payoff, but it's like payoff from a previous from literally the previous episode, and then you sort of get like I'm not a witch in this episode, and then by the end of this episode she's like accepted that, and she's like fully embraced it, like using her witch powers to create runes on the wall and stuff. So like, I don't want to say it's rushed because I feel like we're focusing on the negatives here, but there's definitely an element of like there's so much time spent doing the sitcom scenario that all the sort of like magic-y exploring the magic stuff, it all came right at the end of the season, and then it was all paid off immediately.
Well, yeah, we got like what 2.5 episodes out of the sitcom thing for the finale, for like the third act. Whereas I feel like I really liked last week, but on reflection, I think if they'd have done last week as a 30-minute or 25-minute, and then just given like a little extra time to like this week, maybe or something like that, like. But then, like, I'm like, where like I felt like this episode was paced really well, and like I saw enough of what I wanted to. It was
very high octane from the moment. Yeah.
Yeah, it literally starts where the last episode ended. Like, literally.
Yeah, I do agree that maybe we could have had a bit more time, because there are things that happen in it that are like just have to be glossed over. Like Monica uses her powers in like other ways, and then it's like, wait, what just happened?
What
and
is
then there's
her
no time
power?
to think about it. What is her power? What was that?
Yeah, because you were saying like, is she copying?
It's
other powers.
Because we see, so in the after credit of the third to last episode, she has the purple eyes, and then in this episode she gets purple eyes again when she sees the magic necklace and pulls it off of not Pietro, off of Boner.
I in that little break we had, I was talking to my housemates, and they were like, they're big Evan Peters fans from like American Horror Story and other work, and they were like, no, they can't have just brought him in just for a boner joke. And I was like, I so hope they have. I so hope they have the audacity to just go, nah, yeah, we know he's in X-Men, but fuck it. Like,
Yeah, fuck the X-Men.
because come on, let's start afresh. Like, yeah, okay, we might have the multiverse go, oh well, everything's canon. Any Marvel property you've ever seen is canon. But
Yeah.
let's make new X-Men for the MCU for 616. Like, let's.
Yeah, they know what they're doing, and I'm. You can't convince me that, like, there's not something more happening with that. Like, he's still about that guy.
Wait, there's.
I don't know.
There was a someone was saying about the. Wu is still looking for a missing person, so could that be? Could that be Boner?
That's true, because that is a. But then at the same time, Monica does say.
Hello. Hello. Do you want to take any longer?
Oh, you recording still?
Yeah.
Oh shit, sorry.
You bastard!
Sam called you a bastard.
I didn't know you were.
Actors After Dark sabotage.
Bye.
Hi.
What was I saying?
Well, Monica does say that this is your house, not Agnes's.
Mm-hmm.
So is Agnes the missing person? Because she said she like felt the power in the previous episode, so she came over to see what was going on. Obviously saw that Wanda was doing some crazy shit. Is it possible that Agnes just like up and left her house elsewhere?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. Very.
Because
Fucked up that Wanda has like locked kids in bedrooms.
oh yeah, please let my kids out. Yeah, there is some like dark undertones. Like they're doing this sort of like redemption. Like she's kind of redeemed, but at the same time there's a lot of lingering like creepy questions of what she got up to. And I think you can kind of see that in that post credit is that like the music isn't exactly like yeah, it's like what's she doing, and you can like hear like the screams, and she's very creepy. They're still angling on that, like she's still like this crazy witch, like crazy thing going on. Like she's not a hero,
Yeah.
but she's also not a villain.
Well,
She's doing her own
I
thing.
think
She doesn't know what's going on.
I think she's very aware that she's probably from this point on going to be monitored. Like the likelihood is that like she's not gonna get away with what she's done, so she's gone to this place in the middle of nowhere,
Safe house hut,
and she's kind of hiding out there, and she's probably like, well, they're probably watching me on satellite, so I'll make this astral projection or just, I guess maybe even it's just a double, because she can do that.
Yeah.
And she's like, I will put that out so she can sit out there and be watched whilst I'll be back here
chilling,
learning what I'm
from the dark hole.
What I'm learning.
Yeah.
Also, that final shot, like you fade over a few sort of establishing locations, but then it's a full like drone into. It's a oneer all the way into the the ending. It's like a complete one shot.
It is.
And I'm just like, that's cool. Especially seeing as like you've got, so it goes down from the drone and then probably into like a Steadicam, and then she follows, and then she leaves, and then it continues down the hallway, and then she's there. Like it's like a very simple but like cool.
That's really well done.
Yeah. Like
holy shit.
Needlessly well done. Like for what they were doing, they could have just cut around and no one would notice. But
yeah. I think you had you had an interesting suggestion. You're saying about it there, like astral projection, like Doctor Strange was doing. But like Doctor Strange was sleeping whilst he was astral projecting and learning. But is she that powerful that she can astral project and also control her own body at the same time? Like is that like a very subtle way of like reiterating what Agnes said?
Power.
It's like you're even more powerful than the Sorcerer Supreme.
Because Strange is now the Sorcerer Supreme, right? She's not still talking about the Ancient One, or like...
Yeah. As far as anyone would know, I guess, I think he is.
Okay.
They haven't ever confirmed it, I don't think. But he's wielding the Time Stone and in Infinity War, and it's like, so I guess...
And Ancient One in Endgames, or like he's gonna be the best of us or whatever.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So yeah, I guess most likely. Okay.
Mm.
So I think she could be doing astral projection. I think it's kind of that's what I'm going to presume she was doing.
Mm.
But it could, like, if it's revealed in Multiverse or in Spider-Man No Way Home or something, that she's doing something else, like, yeah, cool.
Yeah.
But for now, in my head, I'm just gonna be like, no, that's what she was doing.
Yeah, and then at the same time, you're right anyway, because this whole show has been about her creating people. So, like, it just makes sense that it could just be that.
Yeah.
That she's just invented a fake version of herself.
Yeah, she's, like, made just, like, a little bubble to live in, like, with someone else.
I just want to say about that hat as well. At the end of... Can you remember this now? At the end of The Incredible...
I remember the final shot, because it's like it goes from like
meditating.
99 days to 0, and he's like,
yeah,
I'm gonna look it up real quick.
He's in a hut, and I want to say it says like New England or something, but like there was just something very reminiscent of that to me about Wanda being in a hut in the middle of like a mountainous place that sort of has that like autumn aesthetic or whatever it was. I can't really remember now. But yeah, I was just like, oh, wouldn't that be funny if it was the same hut? Like, that's just where, if you're a superhero and you're extremely powerful and you go into hiding, you just go to this specific hut.
It could be. Like, it's a hut on a lake. The same.
Yeah. Do they even do, like, the kettle gag? Or not it's not a gag, but, like, the kettle's, like, boiling over and then they pick it up and take it off the stove.
No,
I'm pretty sure that happens.
No, he just starts to pour kettle. It's not boiling.
Oh, okay. But there's a kettle in both.
Okay. Yeah, no, I can believe that. I can believe it was him doing that.
Some random
Columbia.
Conversation at some point.
British Columbia.
Oh, okay. British Columbia.
I'd be down with that. Like, if it's revealed, and even if it's like a slightly different hut, but they're like, nah, we tried. Like, I'd be like, yeah, cool, whatever, same hut.
Yeah. They did. They did do something like that with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. They actually went to that hut and they were like, oh, it's lined with vibranium. But the thing is, like, the Darkhold was also in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. So I think this is the final tombstone to say, like, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., don't worry about it. It's not. Yeah, it's not part of MCU anymore.
It's not a necessary watch. It's a fun side project. Like,
yeah, it's sort of like it is almost a what if at this point. Like, oh, what if Agent Coulson came back and had his own adventures? But I think, for all intents and purposes, that isn't canon anymore, because it's not even Marvel Studios, it's Marvel Television, which is a different arm.
Yeah,
so they reference stuff from the MCU, but at this point, I'm happy to just be like, whatever. Like, it didn't happen.
I'd even be happy if they just went, like, if you want extra footage on what happened with Winter Soldier, go watch season 2 or whatever, and
yeah, that's true.
And enjoy, but like, kind of ignore the fact Coulson's there. Like,
yeah, pretend you didn't see that.
Actually, that is a point. Where was Coulson in Endgame?
Well, he's dead.
Oh, is he dead? Is he dead in thing now?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, but he's my point being,
like, is
the MCU he's dead.
Yeah.
But in the alternate universe, the alternate Marvel Television
I'd
studios,
be chill if they smacked a what if, like, subtitle to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah, I'd be chill with that.
Just do it.
Marvel Studios is what if Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah. I'm trying to think, like, what else was in this episode? Like, because, not gonna lie, guys, be completely honest with you, we want to get drunk for Sam's birthday with our friends. So, like, we are talking, and we're this is all
trying to cover all
enjoyable.
Bases. I think what we can say is, for the 51st episode, there's nothing else going on other than like a behind the scenes thing. So we'll just do a full, like, 40-minute recap of the whole thing. We'll gather our thoughts over the next week, and I might try and rewatch every episode or something at some point. Yeah, and then, we can just come back to it and give a full review. This is just sort of like an immediate thoughts, I think.
Yeah, we don't know what this is.
I think
This
at
is
the
whatever
moment,
we
like,
want it to be.
we're more focusing on like the post-credit stuff, like
Mm.
because that's the stuff that's immediate on my mind.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll come back next week and talk properly, I think, about the whole show in general.
I think
and
that
sort of
is
maybe
a-
theorize for Falcon and Winter
That's
Soldier.
almost like a downside to the show, and kind of the length of the credits of the show.
Yeah.
Because like we were so excited about what could happen in the after credit, for that whole
Yeah.
5-minute gap or whatever, we were just thinking forward as opposed to like reflecting on what happened. Whereas in the films,
Yeah.
whilst the credits roll, you're sort of like chatting like, oh my god, that scene where the blah blah blah. Whereas for this, for some reason, slightly different, but we're just like,
It's yeah.
what's it gonna be?
Yeah. If anything, the final thing to maybe speak about WandaVision last episode would be that final scene between the two of them, and obviously the heartfelt goodbye to her children. Like, just devastating scenes there.
What
Like,
did she? Why did she say, "Thank you for choosing me as your mom"?
it possibly ties into the post-credit again, is where she hears their voices. Now, I'm thinking Vision and the children were the only people that she created. Everyone else was a person.
Mm-hmm.
Vision's sort of like personality and soul came from Wanda.
Mm-hmm.
She had part of the Mind Stone in her. That's how Vision came about, which doesn't answer where the kids came from. So presumably, their souls, if you imagine Vision's soul sort of came from Wanda, from the Mind Stone, where did the souls of those kids come from? Like, she didn't completely make them out of nowhere, right? If you follow that same logic of Vision had some kind of origin point, where did they come from? Is that why she can hear their voices at the end? Where are they? You know what I mean? Like, what did she put into those kids to make them come alive?
What were the ingredients for her to make a thing?
Yeah. So then, to go back to your question, when she like sort of conjured up those kids, did she like search for souls or something? Some like subconscious search for two children's souls, and then like those two popped up, and you know what I mean? It's like, thank you for choosing me to be your mother. Like, those two souls were like, our time to shine, and like they came alive as Wanda's children.
Wanda's process for making people in Westview is like swiping on Tinder. Well, like she's like, I need some kids. You'll do, and those two kids were like,
Those two matched with her.
it's a match.
And now you're born, and you have super speed.
like I'm chill with something like that. I briefly watched a Mr. Sunday Movies review of the post credit, and he said that they could possibly be in hell, and that's where their souls are, and she's gonna have to try and break into hell to get them back, which
I could see that.
break some multiverse stuff and
leave. Fits in with the what's that guy's name?
Mordo?
Mephisto.
Oh yeah. That whole theory that he's the next big bad.
Yeah, the new Thanos. That'd be quite cool.
Yeah, I'm still haven't found out who the rabbit is.
What? Oh, the bug-eating rabbit.
Agatha's rabbit. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there's someone like her son in the comics is called like Scruffles or something.
Yeah.
Like, for some reason. Like, why? Who named that character? Why were they called like a bunny name? Like, what is that?
Maybe I don't know enough about the comics. Anyway,
everyone was high as fuck when they wrote comics.
Stan
back
Lee.
in the 60s.
Stan Lee was a big weed advocate.
They're just gonna have a son. It's gonna be called Scruffles. What are you talking about?
Enough said.
I don't know what to the. Enough said. Just do it. Excelsior. That's good shit. Get me a cameo.
What a guy. Anyway, now we've
What a hero.
angered the ghost of Stan Lee. Let us get the fuck out of here.
Let's cool. Anyway, thank you very much for watching this sort of rambly episode of the finale of WandaVision. We'll be back next week maybe to talk about it more and then sort of theorize on the upcoming Captain Falcon
And the Winter Captain.
Falcon Pod.
Captain Falcon and the Winter American. There we go.
No, I don't know. I don't fucking know. Anyway, yeah. Thank you very much for watching. Feel free to leave a like and smack subscribe. And thank you very much. Cheers.
Happy birthday, Sam. Yeah.
Yeah. Ow.